Okay. Okay. We are on 58. How many am I gonna do? I have no idea. This is crazy. I want to know like a total number of warm-ups. That would be fun. I think I'm definitely up to 1,000. 1,000. Oh, look at this lag. Why is this lag? Is it just me, or can you also see that? You see this sideways lag on the camera. Is it just on my end, or I need to check on my phone? And if I do this, I'll look on my phone. The lag kind of is on the... Yeah, it's on the camera. Oh, I know why. Hey, Bruno Romanos Cosmoverse, Atsuki Zialin, how's it going? How's it going? You know why? Runaway Buzzer, what's up? Topic suggestions. Topic suggestions, please. There we go. Brightness. You know why this lag? This strange lag? Steampunk Sniper. I've actually done Steampunk Sniper Runaway, but I can do it again. No problem. I did it season 2? Schmaze. Oh, Jesus. Schmaze is back. That's crazy. Welcome back, Schmaze. I hope everything has been fine. And everybody, Schmaze has the best nickname in the world. It sounds like a spread from Australia. Do you like some Schmaze on your sandwich? Oh, yes, please. Schmaze is my favorite. Hey, Miss Mustaf. Wow, you have your number 12. That's insane. That is insane. A full-grown warm-upper. Madness. Atsuki, topic, Demon Hunter. It's crazy. Scale Keeper. Ivan, well, hello there. Oh, by the way, people, check this out. We are now officially sponsored by BenQ. Massive. I mean, this is my hand. All right. BenQ has graciously sponsored us with a 32-inch widescreen mammoth. Shout out, thank you. I will do a review of it as well. I will send it to you guys in a month. Watch my eyes, yeah, it's like panning across. Hey Amir, how's it going? Zelin, what's up? Cheers, Gideon. Alright, so topics. We got Steampunk Sniper, Demon Queen, Japanese Oni. Oni, I don't know what it is. Probably a ghost. Scale Keeper, Mammoth Mount. Is that our... Well, Thin Orc, but doesn't count, right? Steampunk, Demon Queen, Japanese Oni, Scale Keeper, Mammoth Mount, Thin Orc. We got all. Wicked. We got 6 topics. Actually, let's for the first time ever let's see, 6. Metallic Scarecrow 7. Cyberpunk Widow 8. Okay. Okay, so that means we can do 2 dices and 8 or less. Okay. 11, no. 7. 7 being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Metallic Scarecrow. Metallic Scarecrow. Yeah, I can't roll one. No, not this crazy widescreen. That's cool. First time we rolled 2 dices. Metallic Scarecrow by 1 Amir. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'll move over here. All right. So while I paint, shit, we are a bit late. Never mind. While I paint over here, Atsuki, that is true. That is true. I need to pay attention. So I'm gonna crit. This is Bruno Romanos. You're not gonna see very well what I'm painting for the time being. I'm just gonna randomly draw something. Anyways, here we go. So for Bruno Romanos, submarine here. I think the design itself is pretty cool. I wouldn't say the design itself is the biggest issue. It's quite an unorthodox. Hey, Meeslurp, how's it going? By the way, this is Feedback Friday. On the other side there. So if you every Friday, if you want to critique, just hashtag FF. And every Friday, I will look at what you tagged on Discord and give it my thoughts. So it's a little bit like a free critique session every Friday if you have something cool to show. Also, it kind of helps you to push yourself forward and work on something, and you have the opportunity to kind of share it. I don't know. It's a cool feature that not a lot of people take advantage of, but I saw 2 people post today, or 3, 4. Well, 4th was from a while back. But anyways, let's continue. So I think the design itself is pretty okay. It's starting to feel a little bit measured, too balanced. Usually when you do things like this, you have to really pay attention to proportions. But also because it's a functional thing, you might want to investigate in this English word. Gonna be fun. Buoyancy. Floating imaging thingy. The thing that makes things float. Buoyancy. Hey, Captain Balls, how's it going? bounce, buoyancy, and where that information is distributed on, let's say, a real submarine or a submarine of similar size, because there is a certain thing, like, yeah, sure, you can do aesthetics, but you should also consider the buoyancy, or if it's a submarine, you know, like they are shaped and looking a certain way. They need to be very balanced, because if there's a tipping point and it's just a buoyancy issue, which is that it's just sinks or floats, and if it's unbalanced, it's gonna pivot. But I mean, you have engines, so it's gonna pull up. But yeah, it's just a matter of like considering the shape. I mean, it's not breaking fully, and there is indications of engines or buoyancy devices. But yeah, so, and secondly, one thing that kind of isn't helping you at the moment, it's really hard to gauge distances or volumes, I mean. And one of the reasons is because you have a very narrow value range. You want to be quite expressive. It's almost like it's a low light setting in the way you're showing off the design, and that's not necessarily working to your favorite, unless it's a low light situation that you want to paint this submarine into. But in terms of like showing off the design, you don't want to hinder your ability to explain a design by just having too much mood to it. Hey, Captain Boss. My 3D, I haven't had time to play around with 3D. I've been busy with color correcting and installing this. I showed at the beginning of the stream. I got sponsored by BenQ and got a monitor as a digital influencer. Silliness. Anyways, back to Bruno Romanos here. So you wanna push the value range a little bit more and make sure that there is a certain, even though you want the cockpit to stand out, I get that like he's fully lit, you still want to have range at places so that the value range doesn't come off as clapped. You want to have an expressive presentation. Hey Kuo, what's up? What up, Kuo? Kuo is a streamer of video games. Strongly recommend. He's great at shooting things. BenQ, yeah, they happily provided a monitor for me to review and as an influencer. Have fun. It's a cool monitor. It's a 32-inch 4K monster. I'm like need to look like this across it. Anyway, so that's feedback to you, Bruno. I like the stacking elements. You just want to be careful of it's not repeating too much. It just comes across as mesh. I would probably remove these and keep the rhythm of those. Those are cool. And then simplify it there, just to kind of have a calmness to the pattern, because if it's just pattern everywhere, it becomes a little bit too much. And this one is a really old one. I found it, I think it was like last month. I don't remember who. Tal or something on Discord. Not an really active member, but I think I possibly might have given it feedback as well. Meat Slurp, no, I don't really. I tried to want to do with my warm up. I'm doing it on the behind me here. Hey, Schmaze. Oh, thank you. Oh, Odin's Raven, thank you. Really appreciate it. Cheers, man. Too kind, sir. Too kind. Oh man, my warm up is looking horrific. Schmazed me for sure. So back to this person. I need to check what the name was. Holt L. The anatomy is really weird and awkward, and there is a shape from the pattern behind which makes his bicep look super bloated. There's a lot of structural mistakes in the body. If you look at the wrist and hand, of the hand pointing up, I understand the positioning, but that is not the way it bends. Like I'm guessing you don't want it stylized. It's just a matter of inability to draw correctly, rather than a stylistic choice. I mean, like Aeon Flux, right? Their anatomy is stylistic. It's a stylistic choice why their anatomy looks like that in Aeon Flux. I doubt that this is what is happening here, because there's a lot of technical mistakes, which indicates lack of knowledge rather than artistic choice. Hey, Mai. I'm very happy that you made it. You made it to a Feedback Friday. Fantastic. Yeah, anyway, so there's a lot of anatomical mistakes, but there's also a lot of positives here. I really like let's say the leading hand, and there's a good readable volume, the good readable values. Overall, the control of light is pretty good, but we can clearly see you don't know how to do fabric or controlling those combination of volumes correctly. First step would be practice cloth rendering and understanding cloth. A good way of doing that is take a blanket or a towel and position it in your home in different configurations, hanging, draping, and in different kind of fabrics as well, like a t-shirt or a shirt or a what's it called, if there's satin or Egyptian cotton, or like everyone has Egyptian cotton, right? But different kinds of fabric that acts in different ways. A thick wool, just try to find different kinds of fabrics and see what they do and see how they fold into each other, and maybe take a photo of yourself in front of the mirror, stretching your shirt or raising your arm, and look at where the tension points are and where the fabric is stretching and where it relaxes and where it hangs. And if you put a towel on and you do that pose, what happens with the towel, and so on. It's evident that you don't really know what's happening with fabric. About 12 ladder goats. The quality of the camera, I know, it's kind of shitty. I agree about 12 ladder goats. Just because of that, I will invest in a new one. Hey, D-Mage, what up? Anyway, so that's that one done. Next one. This one was about from fur. Was it? Yeah. Fur. Pro 42, you're not really here? That's good. So I really like this one. It's very evident that you have good control of shapes. It reads really well. Like the overall shapes read well. It's clean, easy, but there's certain things that confuses me, which I think it's important that you figure out in terms of design. So this is a T wizard. A small thing which bugs me in the way this is executed, which is just a minor thing, but it's a big thing. That the fact that he's pouring away from himself. You never pour away from yourself. Like if I had a glass and a glass, I wouldn't pour like, here, have some coffee to myself. You would pour towards you. And that's also like, it becomes like a, you serve yourself, right? Which is a cute thing. So that kind of ruins the impression that it feels more like a ghost is pouring for him, which is, you know, if that's the case, which I doubt, it has to be explained differently. Cool. So secondly, the vials around his neck, it's a cool idea, but they feel very random, and there's a lot of similar shapes there, which kind of ruins the readability. Like if you squint, there's a lot of similarities in the shapes there, and it kind of nukes the rhythm, the flow, the strength of the shapes. Always when you design something that's simplistic, not meaning, you know, like simple, you know, but anything that doesn't have very, very complicated shapes, meaning simple, requires that the shapes themselves are really, really well crafted. So for me, like his gloves, why they are the way they are, the frequency of detail and so on, they don't make no sense. I don't understand the story behind them or the implementation of them. Same goes for the necklace shape and the size of the balls or vials. Those are very similar, and there's no real hero shape. You have to consider like big, medium, and small ways of unifying each shape. Like his big vial on the back, we understand it. The big circle is the hero shape, and then the second read is quite the medium or large shape, which is the head of the vial. But because of the proportions and distribution of them, we instantly read them and understand them. But the same can't be said to the gloves. The gloves are they are chopped into small pieces by the way you've added the details. So there's really no hero shape on the gloves. Hey, White Math, how's it going? Hey, Ricky, what up? So it tends to be very, when you do that, it tends to become very noisy. So you have to increase sizes or decrease sizes so that you find the rhythm. And the rhythm can be anything really, but it's a matter of being able to find what's correct. Let me try to find one image that I've done. Oh no. Oh yes. Oh no. Okay. It's in the same style as stylistic choices. AJ Zulu, every Friday, if you post something on the Discord and hashtag FF, as in Feedback Friday, you can start. I'll give it all a comment while I paint, while I do my warm up. So, back to this. So the whole idea about stylistic choices, about or distributing shapes and making them read well, is it's the fact that you gotta prioritize where the rhythm goes. What's each side compared to each other, so that they create a good flow of proportions and readability. That you don't need to question what's there, other than just accept what's there as a whole on instant read. Right? It's really important to find that balance. So if we go back and hey, Hovat, how's it going? Miguel, what's up? My warm up behind the webcam is horrific. It's good that it's not shown. Ice die. Yeah, it's fun to model. Anyway, so back to yours. So that with that explained, hopefully you'll see in a lot of design decisions where this occurs, where there's the idea and intent is good. It's just the execution of the shapes that aren't that strong, right? So I would strongly recommend that you redraw it a few times, where you play around with the proportions, ideally a little bit zoomed out so that you can see the effects of them. There's this rule för kallt i Sverige. Här är kallt också. Anyways, so the idea is to find that rhythm and do that zoomed out and play around with proportions. A napkin test, right? That there's this thing, napkin test, right, where you design something, where you draw it on a piece of bar napkin, and all you have is a ballpoint pen, and you can't like add all the details and fascinating little things. You have to make it really, really simple. You know, iconic combination of shapes that you go, oh yeah, that's Superman, I get it, right? You don't add his eyebrows when you try to draw Superman. You do the S and the cape and the twirl on the forehead, right? So the same should apply to your design, but not to that extent. But you should be able to remove a lot of information to the point where you have the basic combination of shapes that are recognizable, right? If I would draw your character in a bar napkin, you know, it would be the big jug and then the big guy carrying it. But what is that combination of shapes? How is that distributed? The gloves and the cups and the necklace at that point would be noise. It would be an addition to the design, which is arbitrary. It doesn't aid the design. So what you always want to do is, if you're going to have that into the design, what are the shapes and how do they contribute to the overall recognizable design, right? And then you also want to be in a point in your design where, man, my warm-up behind here is just dog's dinner. You want to get to a point in the design where if you add elements to it, you're reducing the impact of the design. And the same point is if you remove things from the design, you're reducing. So you want to find that, or you add things, or whatever. You want to find that sweet spot with, okay, these things hanging from his head, are they important for the design? Does it have to be 3 strings? You know, would 1 string be enough? and maybe the shape of it, maybe he should have it like a fat schoolboy in a helmet feel, you know. George, I know, you don't see what I'm painting. It's there, but it's nothing to look at. It's all about you guys over there, the community. Because I'm explaining things and talking, and usually what that happens is that my painting is horrific. And I'm not really thinking what I'm doing, I'm just moving my hand. So there's nothing to look at. Eric, yeah, exactly. There's a point of balance of noise versus no noise. All right, fair. And this one. That's all. Oh. That was it. Now you can observe my horrific warm up. It's not good. This was the yeah. So that's a really important thing to think about, especially when you're designing something that's supposed to be a product or an iconic, recognizable design. You always have to consider what is the selling point, what are the main shapes, what are the supportive shapes. Does it really need all the things you add? What's the purpose of adding certain elements to your design? A lot of times we add things just to add things because we like it. That doesn't necessarily need to be there. So the more conscious you are about it, the easier it is and stronger your designs will be. But in the end, big picture wise, is start simple. The more stylized, the bigger, the bolder the shapes, right? The more realistic, the smaller the differences are. Miguel, so someone is offended that you're not sharing your process. All right. I would just go, well, so you have nothing to prove. Why do you need to share your process if you don't want to share your process? Unless they're like, hey, foul play, I believe you've copied that from something. Prove it by showing your process. That's the only reason why I would think that anyone would claim that you have to show your process. But then they should be bold and ballsy enough to go, hey, you've copied this. Prove it. Prove me wrong. And you absolutely have no reason to prove anything to anyone. AJ Zulu, inspired and copy. Think of it like this. The difference between copying and inspired by is, let's say, you saw someone's fantastic painting. You go, wow, that's really cool. I also want to paint something like that. And then the comparison ends there. Copying is when you look at their solution to that problem and you go, oh, I'll just redraw that, or I'll draw very close to that. And then you're stop being inspired by, but you're copying. And you shouldn't, for example, if you want to help yourself to limit your influences, don't have it open while you're creating your thing. Look at what inspires you first, switch it off, then construct your own opinion and thought about what you want to do with this inspiration, create your own idea, and then go after it. Don't go, I'm going to redraw that exact pose in my, you're just opening yourself up to something that just not going to be you. Miguel is extremely entitled, absolutely, and I would go, well, I would just go, I have nothing, I don't need to, would you answer? What would I answer? I would go, well, thank you for your interest in my process. And look over here on all my already shared time lapses. There should be enough information in there that will help you explain how they're done. Thank you. Have a nice day. I don't know. Go troll someone else. Hey, Runaway Buzzo. Which are my favorite artists that inspire me? I tend not to look too much at what other people do. But there are certain artists where the level of quality, technical quality, is so high, I just go, that is too good. And man, my warm-up today is just dog shit. Anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah, there's a lot of artists out there that really inspire me in terms of their technical skill and their imagination. But I definitely don't want to be close to them in terms of style or decisions. So that's why I'm really not looking at other people's art. I don't want to be influenced too much of other people's solutions. What I do though is I do look at a lot of other things like references and mood boards and photos and things that it will inspire me to create something new. And occasionally I look at another artist. Oh, time is up. Look at another artist to go, just kind of like a handshake. Like what are you been doing? And then you get reminded about their technical ability or their skill set and how great they are, and then you go cry, and then you go back to your art and try your best to match technically, not thematically. Miss Monster, that's great. #1 fan. But man, this drawing, let's not look at that drawing at all, right? Like, there we go. Look at my warm-up. And Metallic Scarecrow by Wanamir. You didn't get your Metallic Scarecrow at all. It's gonna be on Tuesday. I'm gonna keep it for Tuesday. My apologies, Amir. I completely forgot that I was supposed to do a metallic scarecrow. Shame on me. It just dawned on me when I looked at the OBS. Crap. My apologies, Amir. I'm an idiot. That's what I am. Yeah. I'm a complete and utter idiot. There we go. Unsub. Clearly unsub. Hey, Gunnar. Oh, thank you very much. Let's raid Tofu Senshi. She's doing something cool. Yeah, I completely butchered his. I didn't even do his topic. I feel bad about it. Gria, I am thinking about streaming this weekend. I really want to. There you are, Amir. My apologies. I didn't do your topic. It will be on Tuesday, for sure. No, we'll do a study Monday on metal, and metal will go to the scarecrow topic. There we go. We're gonna raid Tofu Senshi. So again, sorry, Amir. I rolled the dice on your topic, but in the end didn't do it. But we'll do it on Monday, promise. Resub. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Good night if you're that part of the world. I will most likely stream on the weekend. I really want to. Maybe do some sculpting actually and music. Anyways, thanks everyone, and thanks for the donations and subs. It's crazy. Outro then raid. Tools.